Hi, I'm Rose and I go to Seneca College. I study business management, the degree program. Currently it's summer break for me from May to August, so I go back in September for semester 2 of the BBM program. So in today's video I wanted to talk about my experience living at the Seneca Residence, because I lived there from the end of January 2022 this year to April, so I kind of wanted to share my experience living there. So for me, overall, it was a very positive and good experience for me. You get that whole living at dorm feel, you get that roommate experience as well. And for me, because it was my first time living on my own, although I did have a roommate in the other room, it was my first time living alone. So you get that experience of having responsibilities, of having to buy groceries for yourself, do laundry for yourself, pay for that, and then on top of that also fit in studying. And although due to COVID everything, most classes were online, you still get that college feel. You still get that experience of studying in the dorms, although it's all online, but you still get that experience, and you get to talk to your other, I guess, residents in the dorm, and you see other people studying the study lounges. So if you're thinking about living at the Seneca Residence, at the Newnham, I would totally recommend it, although it is a little bit pricier than living in Toronto, renting a single room. It's a little bit more pricier. It's still worth it. I would recommend living there for at least one semester. It's completely safe. There's 24/7 security, and they watch the cameras and everything. And yeah, it's completely safe living there. Nothing bad happened to me while I was living there. There were quite a few fire alarm, well, there's a fire alarm test every month, and then there were a few fire alarms that went off, so that was you'll get used to it, but it's not too often where it's annoying or irritating to live there. But yeah, the overall college dorm experience, it was really good. It was interesting to live with a roommate and see how that was, just interacting, I guess, because you share the common kitchen, and you share the restroom, and then your two bedrooms are super close, so getting that experience, and then getting the experience of visiting other student residents in their dorm, and hanging out with them, and that sort of experience as well. And then I'm also a very curious person, so it was very interesting for me to go and live at the Seneca Residence and see how everything is ran, and just see how to do laundry there. They make money off students buying the laundry card, so they make money off of that, and seeing how you have to do the laundry at Seneca Residence, and then seeing there's restaurants downstairs, so seeing the types of food that they sell at the M&M food market I'm talking about. So seeing the convenience of it all. Sometimes if I'm too lazy to walk all the way to No Frills, or go to travel to Food Basics, because Food Basics food is cheaper than No Frills. If I'm too lazy for that, or if those stores are closed, then I just go to the M&M food market below. So it's very convenient. The M&M food market is a little bit pricier, but it's very convenient, and this stuff is good quality. But in terms of the actual room, the accommodation, it was very good. Everything was clean. They do a thorough job at cleaning. If you've ever been to the campus, and there's so many cleaners just walking around, and everything is cleaned all the time. So it was no surprise that would be the same at Seneca Residence. They don't actually clean your rooms during your time there, but they clean before and after. And plus the restroom and everything, it's all basically everything is the restrooms and the lobbies, it's cleaned and everything, so basically everything's clean, so you don't have to worry about filth or dirtiness really. I did my experience studying online classes at the Seneca Residence, because the Wi-Fi is a lot faster than the one that I had, or my internet back at home. So sometimes when I'd be taking my online classes at home, I wouldn't the connection wouldn't be good, so that would be bad when I would have to present. I remember one time my internet was so bad at home that I had to keep refreshing the page. My partner actually just presented my part in the whole entire presentation, and the professor understood, because they could see me keep joining the class every couple seconds. So it was actually a lot easier at Seneca Residence, because I didn't have to worry about that, because the Wi-Fi is stable and a lot faster. And then because you have your own bedroom there, like when I would have to present like when I would have to do presentations for class, I didn't have to worry about like waking up like the rest of my family like when I would have to talk, so that was really good for me too. But the only thing I didn't like about the bedroom is that you can hear like your roommate in the other room. Like it's not completely like soundproof. And then I also wanted to say, like when I first went there, I was shocked that like the front desk, like when I was checking in, I was shocked that like the front desk told me like, oh, you can only use the microwave, because I was like, what? Like the common kitchen isn't open? Because I thought it was open, and they don't like notify you beforehand. So like I had to learn how to use the microwave and like cook and make it and like make all my foods, which I like learned how to do. So I like gained that experience, which I was actually like happy about, because I love like learning new things and like gaining new experiences. So the fact that I can survive just off the microwave, and I can like cook and make food, like that was actually a good thing. Like at first I was like a little bit iffy on it, but like by the end of my stay there, I was like able to cook like actual meals using the microwave. And then something else that I really liked about living at residence is that like I didn't have to travel like at all to get to the Newnham campus and like study at the campus or like go to the campus. Because when I was living with my parents, I had to travel like an hour and a half, or like maybe a little bit more than that, maybe an hour and 40 minutes to get like all the way to Newnham campus. So I could just like walk 5 minutes, check in, like do the screening, and then go about my business like inside the campus. So I did like that. It was only like a 5-minute walk, if it was even like a 5-minute walk, maybe like a 3-minute walk or 2-minute walk, like depending. I walk pretty fast. Yeah, so overall it was a pretty positive experience for me. Like I got to experience it all basically. The only thing I missed out on was the like Seneca Residence events, which I'm guessing it's like the SSF events that like happen for like the students like that don't live at like the residence. So like I'm also thinking I might actually go back for semester 2 in September and live at the residence, but that's still like open in the air for me. I haven't like made up my mind if I want to spend the money and experience that again. I would love to experience it again, just so I could like, because I wrote down a list before I went there of like things I wanted to do there, videos I wanted to accomplish. So I still have like a couple of things left. I completed like most of it, and like if you've seen like in my college vlogs, I wanted to like explore the North York region. So I did explore like different parks around here. I explored like the restaurants around here. I like basically like when you're living at the Seneca Residence, like everything is around there. Like there's the grocery store at No Frills, there's the TD Bank that's close by, Starbucks and Tim Hortons are inside the campus, and there's a Tim Hortons at the gas station, also that convenience store. And then the buses, like they come every like couple minutes. I forget what the bus, the 39 and the 939, they come like super fast. And also the 25, the Don Mills, and the 925 when you walk to Don Mills. So yeah, that's good if you're thinking about like transportation and like travel, like if you have to go to work from the Seneca Residence. And then I also wanted to say that like decorating my dorm room was so much fun. I wanted to experience that because the walls are designed for you to like be able to decorate it. Like there's no like paint on it. There's like, I don't know, it's like this weird material that you can like duct tape stuff to and like put up posters and like lights and everything and decorate it how you want. I've actually like seen through people's like windows, like when I'm walking like on the sidewalk, like you look up into like the Seneca Residence, you could see all the windows, and I've seen like a lot of people have like those like LED lights hung up, so I've seen a lot of that. I actually had some for my like bed, the blue ones. So, but I didn't hang it up, but like they give you that space, so like you get to decorate your dorm room however you like, if you even want to decorate it. I totally like decorated the whole entire dorm room wall like Seneca College themed, which if I go back, I'm gonna like, I have some ideas already ready, so I'm like kind of excited about that. But I pretty much decorated the like walls exactly how I would like even now, like renting out a space and like renting out my own like one bedroom, I can't put anything like on the walls because like it has paint, and like I'm only renting it out, so like if I damage it or if I take off the paint, then I would have to like pay for it, you know. So I did like how I was able to decorate my room exactly how I wanted it, and it was literally like, you could tell like when you walk in, it's like Rose's room. But the room that's like one of the cons, like that I'm living in a one bedroom like room right now, and I can't decorate it, which like sucks, but it's not like the end of the world. Also, I wanted to say that because I had never lived in like an apartment, like inside an apartment building, I had only like lived in a house like all my life. I've been to like friends' places where they like lived in an apartment, and I got to see like a little bit how it looks like. But like living at the Seneca Residence, it's kind of like designed sort of like an apartment, so like it was pretty interesting. Like I got to experience like walking down the hallway and like disposing of your garbage in like a garbage chute rather than like going outside your home and putting it inside like the garbage bin. So like that was actually pretty interesting for me. And then also having like a like resident, I guess, community space to like put your recycling rather than like, you know, going outside your house, like as I was saying, like because I had only lived in a house all my life, so like going into like a recycling room to like dispose of like my recycling was interesting to me, because I would just like put in like the recycling bin at home, so instead of like going to a recycling room and like separating out like items. So that was pretty interesting to me. And then also just like walking down the hallway to like do your laundry, that was actually pretty nice for me, because for me, like back when I was living at my home with my parents, back at my home, like I would have to walk a couple blocks to do my laundry at the laundromat. So like living at the Seneca Residence, I would just have to walk like down like midway to the hallway and like do my laundry. So that was like super convenient for me, and plus I didn't even have to like put on a coat or anything or like get dressed up. I could just like, you know, just walk to the middle of the hallway, do my laundry, and then go back to my dorm room. I also got to experience like using elevators and like living in a place that you have to use like, or like you can use the elevators to go down and up. Like it's kind of like, as I was saying before, it's kind of like designed like an apartment building. So like getting that experience of like, you know, seeing like other people in the elevator and like talking to them in the elevator while you're going down to like run some errands or go to school, that was actually pretty cool for me too. And also, before I had even like started living at the Seneca Residence, I had been thinking, I was like, I really want to experience like that college experience of like moving in, moving out, like unpacking and packing, and like meeting like a roommate, like living with them, seeing how that was like, meeting other residents, like other students living at the residence. So I like, before I had even like moved in, I wanted, like that's what I wanted to experience, and like experience like the convenience of like going to campus like whenever you wanted. So I did get that experience while I was there. And like if you're thinking about living at the Seneca Residence, then like that's the experience that you'll get. So for me, like moving in and check-in was super easy and fun. Like all you have to do is just check in at the front desk, and like just like unpacking and like decorating my room and like placing my items everywhere. It was super fun for me to do. It was like something to do. And also like meeting my roommate for the first time was like really nice. And then but like I found like checkout was super stressful for me. It was like super busy, super hectic. So the only thing like I would stress or like tell people is that for checkout, like try to like unpack or like take some items like the weeks leading up to move out day, because move out day is like so stressful. Because just like, sorry, that's like the school bell. I'm like sitting in a park I'm sitting at a park, and like there's a school like nearby. But yeah, just like move out day was super stressful for me, just because like it was right after like final exams, and like it was in the morning, so I'm not a morning person. I wake up like in the afternoon. But I did get to experience that. It was super hectic. I remember like my first day, or like my first like week living at the Seneca Residence, it was like a little bit hard for me, because like I was just like adjusting to it all. And and this was like I guess like a major change for me in my life, like just like completely living in like a different region of Toronto, and then living at school, and then living by myself, and like for 3 months because I like moved in a month late. So just like being away from my parents, like my parents live in Toronto, so like I could always go back home. But like I think that first day when I was moving in, it was like a little bit sad because like I was leaving my sister and like my like mom and dad. So it was like a little bit sad for me, but I did end up adjusting. I would like go home like during like maybe on Saturday, like during the weekend I would go home to like visit, like I think that first whole month, and then like I like visited a little bit less and less just because like, you know, we were like adjusted to living apart. So that was like a little bit hard for me at first, but like after a while you get adjusted to it all. And also because I was living at the Seneca Residence, like they don't allow pets, so it was like a little bit hard for me not to like live with my tortoise. So like my tortoise was staying with my sister and she was taking care of him. So if you have a pet, it's hard to live without it. So like, I don't know, just living at the Seneca Residence, I would miss him. So I did purchase a like tortoise statue that I found at Pacific Mall. So like I would have that, and then I always wear this tortoise necklace. So, but living at the Seneca Residence and being away from him for 3 months, I would sometimes visit like my parents' place. I'd sometimes visit there and see my tortoise, but being away from him, it was hard. And then I also wanted to mention that I also wanted to experience living at the Seneca Residence because I wanted to see if I wanted to like go back home and live after my stay was done, or if I wanted to like move out on my own. So if you're thinking about like living at the Seneca Residence and like you're in like the same boat as me, like you've been living at home and you just want to like experience like living alone to see if you want to move out or not, and like also to experience like, you know, living at the Seneca Residence, it's a good experience because you get to see if you're able to like, you know, live on your own, and if you like it, and like if you like having more responsibilities. It's a good experience to like indicate to yourself if like you want to choose, I guess, either or. So for me, like it was a good experience because I was able to find out like if I actually wanted to live on my own and if I was actually able to. And then also with living at the Seneca Residence, like, and like you're living alone, like you get to do whatever you want. So you get to go out whenever you want, you get to like go grocery shopping whenever you want, you get to do everything like whenever you want, and it's like all on you. So that's what I liked all the freedom of it all. And to close out this video, overall my experience at the Seneca Residence was really good. I appreciate all the experiences and all the people that I met there, and like overall it's a very good stay. I would recommend it to anybody just to stay for like a semester if you can. Yeah, all the staff and everybody was really nice, and I don't have anything like really negative to say about the Seneca Residence. It was overall like a positive experience. And if you have like doubts or questions, like for me before living at the Seneca Residence, like while I was like thinking about like applying, like most of my questions was basically just how does the dorm look, like basically like how does each room look, because I think there are images on the Seneca like website, but like on the Seneca Residence website, but that's how come I actually made like you know, videos of like showing what it looks like and everything. Because like I was curious, right? And you have to like search and search and search just to see like, oh, like just to see like what like the rooms look like, just to see like maybe a couple, like 3 photos taken like years back. So I think that was like my main question when I was like personally applying. So yeah, that's how come like I made like videos like showing what it looks like and everything. But yeah, if you are thinking about applying to the Seneca Residence and like you have questions about like living at the Seneca Residence, then you can always ask me, like either through like the YouTube comments. I typically like respond to them, or if you want to like message me on social media privately, then you know I can always answer your questions, because like, you know, I already lived there for like 3 months, so, and I've experienced like basically I wanted to experience, if I was going to be living there, I wanted to experience everything. So I experienced most things, just not like actually cooking in like the common kitchen there, and then not like attending these Seneca Residence like events. So hopefully like if I do like plan on living there in September, then hopefully I can experience that and then complete a couple of my like videos that I have left to like film there, because I have like a couple like random ones that I still have left to do. And since you are like living alone at the Seneca residence, like I know you do have a roommate, but like being in that dorm bedroom, like I just found I was able to just focus and like accomplish so many things while I was there. Like all my assignments, like I was just like focused because it was just me. Like I didn't have like distractions, I guess. I didn't have like, you know, like family members, like I guess washing their dishes or something. You could hear it like in the background. Like being in that dorm bedroom, like I was able to like focus and like, you know, focus on editing it sometimes, and just like focus and like, you know, just get things done. So like just like being by yourself in like a bedroom, like it was just like very like, it was very good for me because I was able to just like, you know, get things done while I was there. So I did like that too. But yeah, so that was my experience living at the Seneca residence. A very good experience, positive. I would recommend it to anybody. So with that being said, I will see you guys in another video.